So a couple numbers you need to know. And again, just you don't need to kill yourself on it. We need to know what you want to net, what your fixed expenses are, roughly, what you believe you paid the broker, and referrals, and what your average commission is. So here's one of my favorite things. I've interviewed thousands of real estate agents over my time in the business. And most new agents, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking in general, most new agents say they want to make $100,000. It's like the script. I want to make $100,000. And my favorite question to ask them is, what is that per month? Like, don't just say it, what does it mean per month? And then they stare at me. And if you do not understand, you will never make it. And so 100,000 is 8,000 a month. If 8,000 doesn't speak to us, and this is net, by the way, where this number we're doing right now is to put $8,000 in your pocket every single month. So friend, if you were to literally have 8,000 after all of your expenses in your pocket every single month,
I would be so happy.
well, guess what? That's what we're building. So run your business. What does it cost annually or per month? So let's do $24,000.
Okay.
So that's $2,000 a month. What is the foundation of the 3 L's? Leads. Well, if everyone you speak to, everyone you know in your life is not ready to buy real estate, you got 2 choices. Buy leads or die. A slow financial death. And what is the cap here? 30,000. I'm going super high. So we're gonna add these up, so that would be 100 plus 24 plus 30 is 154. Our average commission here is 10,000. Is that fair for us to use? And it'll be easy for numbers. $10,000, which would mean we'd have to close 15 transactions. It'd be 15.4, but let's just go with 15, which would be a deal a month. And then every other quarter, pick a month that you close an extra. Selling real estate is super simple. If you call, and you go blah. If you call enough people, someone's gonna go blah blah, and you go blah blah blah, and then everyone laughs. But getting there is where we F it all up, because we make it so complicated to put $8,000 in our pocket every single month. I'll take the lead on this. Let's say that we're gonna close, let's go 6 listings and 8 buyers. And we're gonna do a 50-50 ratio, which means half of the time you do anything, you suck. Literally, half of everything you do, you fail. So we're gonna say 50%, which means 12. So what we just said is that if you have 12 listings through all of 2026, half of them are gonna fire you. And you're gonna close 6 of them. Embrace the suck. It's gonna be okay. 50% of the appointments you go on are gonna kick you out of the house. Like, they're gonna say, nope, Fran, get out. Nope, nope, nope. Half of them are gonna say yes, which means 24 listing appointments in all of 2026. Half of them, like, you go, I can't do this is horrible, blah, 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 blah. Whatever story you tell yourself. Going back to limiting beliefs, going back to affirmations, going back to all the things that we started today with. But half of them agree to work with you. And out of the half that agree to work with you, half of those go, I am not dropping my price. Nope, absolutely not. Nope, 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 I will watch this thing not sell. And half of them will. We're entrepreneurs, we can make our own business. So let's say that we work 40 weeks out of the year. 12 weeks off. To go, to be sick, kids sick, go to Germany, go wherever you want. You got 12 weeks off. So can anybody define 24 by 40 for me? In other words, out of 40 weeks.
0.6.
Okay. So let's say 0.6 would be per week, which means every other week that you work, you sit on 1 appointment. Look at your year and decide what your 40 weeks are. And every other one, hell or high water. I don't care how many hours you gotta work. You just sit on 1 appointment every other week and get kicked out of half of them, and you will be halfway to our goal. So now let's do the other side. 50% of our buyers are not gonna close that are in our car. That means we have to have 16 buyers in our car. In all of 2026, 16 buyers have to be in our car. Half of them are gonna flake, half of them the deal's gonna fall apart and they're gonna say, I'm just gonna rent. 58% of the appointments means buyers are gonna be in our car out of 50% of our appointments, which means we sit on 32 appointments. Out of the 32 appointments, half of them flake on you. They say, yeah, no, sorry. Or they say yes and they just never show up. And then half of those that show up in your car that you drive around. Yeah. So 32 into 40, which means almost one consultation every single week. Which means once a month, you can take 1 week off of not having an appointment. Or once every other month. That's what that means. Once every other month. Like if you don't have a listing appointment in like January 1st, like the week of January 1st, we're already behind the 8 ball, because that means for the next 2 months, you can't miss an appointment. Which is why we're doing business planning in October. Which is why when Joelle and I kind of talked about this, it's New Year's in October. Because right now, sandbag the shit out of these appointments. Set up all your appointments for the first week, and there you go. As my first mentor said, if your goal is to sell 10 homes, do it by February and take the rest of the year off. I mean, the math is math. You don't get paid to work. What we just did here is out of a full-time schedule, I sell real estate. Out of a 5 or 6 day week, you just have to meet with 2 people every 3 weeks. 3 people every 10 days of work for the first time. And so what I want you guys to hear in this is if all you have to do is fail half the time, in this example, and all you're meeting with is 3 people every 3 weeks, what do we do all day? What is absolutely taking up our time if that's all we have to do to put $8,000 in our pocket because of math?